Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Megan Monday, and today we're going to have a little juicy episode of debunking 5 myths that keep content creators stuck. And if you've been there, I know I have, you're on that hamster wheel of creating content over and over and over again. And maybe it has a few likes, maybe it gets buried in the feed, maybe you've invested a lot of money, maybe you're not seeing the ROI on the money that you've invested. All of these things are business owners' nightmares, right? And so today I really want to bust those myths that keep people stuck because if you're like me, maybe you've been sitting on the sidelines and it took you a few years to get up the confidence, and then maybe you start with your favorite platform. For me, it was Facebook, and then you kind of get burned out doing it like everybody else does, and then maybe you decide, hey, you know what? I really want to write that book. Or I really want to start that podcast. Or I really want to start that YouTube channel. And so that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today is how do we do all these things? See my little guinea pigs in the back? Maybe they'll make a little special appearance in the next video. So let's get right into it and talk myths because these are the fatal flaws that will keep you frustrated, unsatisfied, and let's face it, broke. Because we all have those moments where we are really wanting to get our message out there to make an impact, to make income, all the good things. Okay, so let's get right into it. Myth number one is that you have to be perfect before you start. Okay, this is cringy, right? If you don't know me, my past life has been as a therapist, and so I have worked with so many perfectionists, recovering perfectionists here myself. And the perfectionism thing can really keep you broke. You'd think that highly successful people are perfectionistic, but there's actually like quite a dark side to perfectionism. There's a lot of judgment, there's a lot of comparison, and these things will keep you small, okay? And that actually is a much more like masculine hustle and scarcity paradigm. And as your pleasure psychologist, I want to bust you out of those limiting beliefs and get you to a point where you feel like, you know what? I'm good enough to start, right? You don't have to have the perfect background. You don't have to have perfect lighting. I'm literally recording this on Riverside platform with my laptop, okay? Because that's just an easy way for me to get a live stream video up right away so I can get the message to the people. Okay, so we don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have a PhD. You don't have to have a 100K launch. You don't have to have a huge following. Oops, that's myth number two. I'm jumping ahead of myself here. A little teaser there. But often the perfectionism is really just a huge way to procrastinate. Perfectionism, procrastination, right? A lot of us feel like we have to be great to get going. There's a study where they asked people to make pottery bowls. And they did an experiment where they manipulated one group had to do one bowl really well, one group had to do a bowl a day. And you can imagine what happened. Practice makes, if there's perfect, which I think perfection is a myth, practice is as close as you can get to perfection, right? Because the more bowls you made, the more likely that you have a really amazing bowl versus think about if you were in that one pottery bowl group where you're like micromanaging the bowl and maybe you're overworking it, you're putting all this expectation and pressure and ugh, right? And then this is just pottery, y'all. Talk about a launch where there's like a lot of money on the line, and maybe you really do need to pay those tax bills. Maybe you really need to pay your coach. Maybe you really need to pay your team. And so we got to make this launch happen, right? And so, ooh, what was that? Oh, some masculine energy creeping in, okay? We want to shift out of that masculine have to make it happen vibes into Receiving, like Frida would say here, receiving in what is meant for us. Okay. And so the best way you can do that to make authentic content really truly is to be yourself. Okay. So be yourself, messy on a Monday morning, like I am, Dr. Megan Monday here. So in full alignment, having just a coffee conversation, right? So grab your coffee if you don't already have one, or tea or water. I've got both. I've got some water here too. So don't let perfection get in your way. Just start. In DBT, we would use the skill opposite action, which would be to just go for it. Okay. If our anxiety, instead, we're going to do the fearless feminine way, which is we're going to approach. Okay. We're going to approach gently. Another skill that's great for that is non judgment, not to judge our performance, not to judge our videos, not to judge how many likes we get, not even to judge by sales, although we would love to see lots of sales coming in for you, right? These measuring sticks are all sort of linear outcome indicators, and we really want to make our benchmark the showing up itself, not necessarily the outcome, because we can't always control the outcome, but what we can control is how much we show up. And the best way to do that is to just hit record. Okay, myth number two, trend hacking. We all know that this is a strategy. It's like when you see some controversial thing, like someone died or some kind of controversial thing in the world, everybody puts out a post. And I know I've been in the middle of the launch, had something kind of happen, have, a launch sequence going out, and then feeling like I wanted to respond to what everyone is talking about. Well, I think timely posts can be helpful, especially if it's important, if you have something important to say on the matter. I do think sometimes, like, for example, if you had a launch sequence and someone dies and you want to comment on it or there's a tragedy, you may feel compelled to, but I would definitely do some self searching. Definitely don't post these things in emotional mind. Maybe give it a minute, let it sit, then post. Okay. Trend hacking can be a good technique, but I think the danger there is that you sound like everyone else. It's like everyone's using AI, right? But are we all going to sound like AI at a certain point? I think AI is great tip for the busy work, but you don't want it to drown out your authentic voice. And I think trend hacking can do the same thing. I think it can distract from your niche, it can distract your target audience, and it might be great to for something in particular, but if it's not part of your core curriculum, I think it could just be a distraction that can kind of keep us like chasing, and I think it's just not very authentic unless you truly have something to say on this topic that is meaningful. Don't feel peer pressure to join in on the trend, just because everyone's posting the AI pictures or just because everyone is, you know, uh, selling a membership. You don't necessarily need to do that. And that's what we teach in Fearless Feminine, is how to design a business plan, not only based on your human design, not only based on, your personality, your business type, your preferred platform, but what is one that feels really authentically good to you? The guinea pigs are weighing in on that one. I think I'm going to take them out for the next show here. Okay, so we should not do what's popular. We should have content pillars, and a really great way to start with content pillars is just pick three topics that are good for you. So, for example, I talk a lot about pleasure psychology, how to bring more pleasure and fulfillment into your life so you can feel satisfied. Who doesn't want some of that? I talk a lot about mindset. So, what is the mindset of a business owner that's going to work for you? What is the mindset of a fearless feminine? Someone who doesn't let fear hold them back and just goes for it to create their big soul mission in the world. Myth number three is that you have to have a huge following to make money. Okay, we all know the million followers is like a big thing, whether it's YouTube or Instagram or any of the platforms. Um, it's really seductive to have these metrics where it seems like, you know, you have everybody watching all that you create. However, I've seen so many of my own coaches, my own Fearless Feminine clients, myself have created content that converts. Okay, so an affirmation that I love to use here that I actually got from Julia Wells is all my content converts. And I think she says all my conversations convert. So I like that one even better because it's bigger umbrella there. She's a great example of someone who has a smaller audience and has done $1 million business. Work closely in with a lot of pleasure and relationship coaches, and that's kind of what catapulted my journey from drama therapist, right? You can imagine listening to, people that you care about, your clients, who you love's worst moments. It's just a little bit heartbreaking. And so instead, while that was, and I certainly helped people heal their trauma, now I'm bringing it to the world. Okay. I want to bring the mindset tips and, I love talking business. So that's why I created Fearless Feminine. Is it a life coach? Container? Yes. Is it a business container? Yes. Is it an all the things container? Yes, because that's how I do. And I know my clients love this deep work that creates the mindset of the fearless feminine, where we can receive clients, content inspiration, and of course, cash, right? So no, we do not have to have a impact. We just have to have connections with our community. So I really like to use my podcast that way. If someone comes across my Divine Feminine Revolution podcast, there's 100 episodes waiting for them. And I do have it in my wherever podcasts are found. And I have my video podcast on my other YouTube channel. So we really want, and if you have the myth that I have to have a huge audience, let's bust that today, okay? Let's reframe that for you. You absolutely do not. Literally, for most of us to have a full coaching practice, depending on if you're selling high ticket, you may just need a handful of people, okay? So, can you convert a dozen people in your 100,000, 10,000 audience, right? It's sort of like getting to that monetization at YouTube. Could you have 1,000 true fans, 1,000 true fans that will buy the t-shirt, that will sign up for the membership, that will listen to all the podcast episodes and YouTube? So you really want to reward your followers and make contact with them, and always reach out to me. I would love to talk with you, and I would love to serve you. I'm always making customized products. I really do want to make a lot of free and low cost digital products over here to reach a lot of people on mindset and mental health. And then I want to work over here with a small few in the Fearless Feminine program, which is the life and business incubator that just teaches you to go for it, get seen, get sales, and get confident. Okay, now this number 4 is consistent daily content. It's a myth. Are you so excited to hear that? I am so excited to hear that one. And I believe this one for a long time. So if you know me, I'm obsessed with human design, and I am a 2/6 generator, which means I am a hermit and I'm a role model, which is the introverted side of me, hermit, the extroverted side of me, role model. And so that is why for the Fearless Feminine, I have been doing the 75 hard. I've been doing it personally for me because to me, that was embodying the Fearless Feminine. And it was taking this very masculine thing, the 75 hard by Andy Frisella, and putting that like feminine spin on it. And that's what my Fearless Feminine Business Incubator does. It helps you to receive more in your life, okay? We've helped people manifest houses. We've helped people manifest dream partners. We've helped people manifest podcasts, manifest passive income portals teaching their healing gifts. Um, we've helped new moms grow a business with a new baby. We've helped people through divorces. Uh, I mean, literally, is it life? Is it business? It's both because I love to work with mom bosses who want to create the freedom that they deserve so they can enjoy their family and they can enjoy their life and they can have a business that's very like gratifying and a big part of their soul mission. So, back to consistent daily content. Okay, consistency. That is actually the power word for Fearless Feminine this round. I always like to riff a little bit on Fearless Feminine. Um, last time we did write your book. The time for that we did human design, kind of like whatever I'm passionate about in the moment. I like zero in on it. And so this one is huge. Consistency in your business. If you're like me, And I think most business owners are creatives, they're artists, and most of us do not thrive on risk. And to be risk averse makes it very difficult to be a business owner because there's a lot of risk involved, right? We're trading in those benefits and a regular paycheck for the laptop lifestyle, right? And so how do we learn to feel good when we're pushing our edges? Well, I really love content repurposing. So I've been creating content for the past 4 years. I've taken my podcast, I've repurposed it on YouTube. I've taken my daily post, I've put them into email sequences. I've taken my posts and we've put them on auto repeat. So each launch has gotten easier and easier and easier. And that, my friends, is the feminine way, right? It's like that J curve, right? We're putting a lot of the time and energy and work up front, and then we're hitting this climax, is not always fun, up into our earning potential, where then it feels like we're getting paid to do nothing because maybe we didn't get paid while we were working really hard. And then luckily the scripts kind of flip at a certain point when you have all this beautiful content that you've created that you can repurpose. So when you're having a bad day, you don't want to go live, you don't want to get camera ready, you just repurpose your content. And I love when my VA does that. I love when she makes my content because she makes different things than I would make. And so we both are content creators working for this divine feminine revolution. But yes, we don't have to make consistent daily content, okay? It does not have to be daily, okay? And I think good content is always better than just dialing it in, okay? Like we've all written those posts where they were mediocre, just post to post something, right? That's that like sort of lingering employee sort of student mindset. You just got to turn something in. No, we don't want that. We want something more powerful. And so one powerful post can do so much more than a bunch of bland posts. So we will just kind of leave that there. But you can import consistency. So on my hermit phases, I try to take a day where I have a down day where I don't see people. I take a day, those are my writing days. Those are when I do a lot of solo work, and those are very great for me. However, my VA, actually my OBM, let's say that, online business manager, my online business manager posts these things for me, and it's wonderful. So you can import that consistency. If that's not your strong suit, I always say hire to your weaknesses. So if anxiety is something you've really been struggling with, you don't have to struggle any longer. Okay. That's what I created Fearless Feminine for. We want to be the women who are brave, because when we're truly in divine feminine, we are protected by our masculine that's willing to take action. And then we can let this beautiful, fearless feminine wisdom through our intuition, that we're receiving through our downloads kind of come through and take shape in a beautiful way. So I really love to customize based on how I'm feeling. When I'm inspired, I do a lot of content. When I'm not feeling it, repurposed. Repurpose, repost. Also great to use the retrograde energy for that. We're in a ton of retrogrades right now. Rework, repost, reconfigure, and then release and see what happens. My fifth tip for today is, um, well, myth really that we're going to bust is that success is overnight. Okay. I think this is a big manipulative sales tactic in the coaching industry. Okay. And I have to remember this myself quite a bit. When I was becoming a doctorate in psychology, I had to do 7 years of grad school, a year of internship, a year of postdoc. I mean, literally, I had to do 9 years before I could practice therapy. Okay. So that was not an overnight success. And then another, let's see, I'm 12 years into my private practice. About 10 years into it, that's when I hit a stride, right? And so in the coaching industry, we hear a lot of like, I made 100K overnight. And we all know the internet lies. I know I've been a big sucker for some of these, and certainly people do have those results. And I love when people do actually provide proof of these results rather than just bragging them, because I do think that there are a lot of misleading um, sort of overnight success stories, going from homeless to cajillionaire. That's nice for the people that do that, and that is a remarkable story. What a great hero's journey. Um, and I think, I know I'm 4 years into my business online, and I'm still, uh, not an overnight success. Okay. So if you're like me, and it's been a little bit of a slower start, maybe because you had another business, maybe because you are dealing with some of these myths like perfectionism or doing the popular thing. It's like really, it's kind of like in relationships where you can like lose yourself in a relationship. It's so easy to lose yourself in social media. Like, what are people doing? They're posting sexy pictures, or they're selling all the time, or they're making these results seem huge. It's really seductive and elusive to like um, get on the bandwagon there, but don't lose yourself there. Okay. Really own your results, whatever they are, because success does not come overnight. And generally, when people do have overnight success, like winning the lottery, people don't know how to hold the money and they don't know how to hold the success. So I think if you're like me and who's someone who's grown on multiple platforms, and for me, I really love the creativity piece of it. That is my driving force and like reaching people. And so I'm okay with slow and steady growth, because when I pop off, I'm going to have all of the different pipelines, right? I'm going to have YouTube, I'm going to have podcasts, I'm going to have book, I'm going to have Facebook, Instagram, all the things, right? And so uh, for me, just getting those creations going is my true life purpose, and like sharing it with the world is there. And then the money is always the byproduct. So, if you resonate, if you've been up at night wondering how you're going to pay your bills, if you've been like, gosh, I just wish I could be more camera confident because I'm so nervous to hit play. If you feel like you have to be one of the popular girls to make money, okay, I was not. I was like one of the nerds, right? So, like, you can be nerdy and make money. Okay, maybe we need to do a meditation on that one, a little mindset jaunt through there. You don't have to have a huge following, okay? 100 true friends. Go look on your profile. If you want to get witchy with it, maybe I'll do this a little later. You could use a little pendulum to get like a yes or no. You can edit your numbers that way, and you can kind of see who you might want to reach out to. Um, and don't let consistency be your Achilles heel, right? Just like follow your passions and just save everything. Okay, that's my biggest content creation thing, is save everything. And then you can repurpose, rework, throw a little AI in there as your VA. I call it chat goddess GPT, chat goddess. Hey, chat goddess, help me out here. And then again, permission, we can totally do mindset of overnight success, and just recognizing progression, not perfection. We have all the time in the world. That's one of my favorite affirmations. So we don't need to blow up overnight. There's definitely some negatives that come with that, right? We just really want to be creating consistent income, creating consistent content, and creating consistent cash. So if you would like to join my mastermind, Fearless Feminine, doors close on Thursday. It's my daddy's birthday, so happy birthday to him. He is a 3-time cancer survivor, so love celebrating his 72nd birthday today. Um, and yeah, I am gonna close cart on Thursday. I'm thinking about whipping out. I'm feeling like kind of generous. I have 2 free individual sessions for the first few people that get in there. And I'm even maybe thinking of bringing out a last minute coupon, because I got a little bit of a slow start to my launch. And then finally, I do have my 75 hard opt-in. If you've been seeing me post a lot about 75 hard and been like, what's she doing? Is she a fitness influencer? No. I am just embodying my fearless feminine, and that was my challenge, to get healthy in a feminine way, while hitting those consistency discipline check marks. So I'll post a link to opt into that if you would like to join my email video nurture sequence with all kinds of tips for surviving, and not just surviving, but thriving during the 75 drive hard. So, hope to see you in Fearless Feminine. Our calls are Mondays at 1 Eastern, and you'll get the business vault. You'll get all the fearless ones. I'm actually going to do also a new content drop as an update to the program, all about mindset. So if you found this video helpful, there's going to be more like this inside Fearless Feminine. And if you have any questions, just feel free to shoot me a DM, and check out my sales page. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.